And share my screen. All right. Well, I am Stacy Turner, and I just wanted to tell you thank you for being on tonight. I know you had other things to do, and you could have come up with other things, and yet that you're here on with us tonight is just so encouraging to me. So, if you don't mind, if you can press the mute button to yourself, that would be great. Some reason that's not muting everyone. I can still hear a little bit of noise. That would be helpful. And I just wanted to, again, tell you thank you so much for being a part of tonight's Health Talk. And my passion for the last 15 years has been to help families take back control of their health through whole food nutrition. And a lot of times we focus on what we shouldn't eat and we lose what we should eat. And we're going to cover both of those tonight. So what we're going to start with is really, how did we get to this place? How are we here that we're dealing with all these different issues? And we're really in a crisis here in America. I'm not going to read all of these. You can see these, but Americans are the biggest consumer of weight loss products, 80% in the world. And yet we still lead the world in obesity and unhealthy lifestyles. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for American men and women. And this one is hard to take if you really stop and think about it, that this may be the first generation of children not to outlive their parents because of preventable diseases. Wow, that's pretty big. And the one that stands out to me the most is that more than 70% of adults across the United States are already being diagnosed with a chronic disease. And more than 75% of the nation's healthcare costs are being spent on managing and treating those conditions. So one of the things we're going to discuss tonight is how medication overrides the symptom. It doesn't ever cure it, unless we're talking like a bacterial infection. But what I'm talking about tonight is chronic pain, chronic disease, autoimmune disorders, heart disease, cancer, those type of things. A lot of times those symptoms are masked through medication, but when you get on one medication, it leads to another medication that counteracts the side effects from the first medication that you were on, and it just kind of snowballs and can be really frustrating, and to where you find yourself on all these different medications. And a lot of children are on daily medications now, and that's not something that we've typically seen in the years past. So definitely in crisis mode. And like I said, it's from what we are eating and what we're not eating. So we're going to discuss both of those tonight. So food quality is definitely decreasing. I think anyone would agree with that. I want to encourage you to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Everything in the middle and the packaged foods, if it doesn't rot or sprout, you should throw it out, because bacteria should be able to eat the food. It should be able to break it down. Different, things that they add to it are what preserve it, but those are things that really take it as far from food as it could possibly be, that 2 years from now, you could eat what's in that package and not be sick. And that's kind of something to think about. Maybe not make you sick right then, but it'll make you sick over time of eating it. And we think Wonder Bread is great because it doesn't mold, but it really should make us stop and think, why? Why doesn't bacteria eat that? And it just really is because it's not real food. And that's where we see that decrease in the food quality. We're getting further and further away from God-made foods, and we're eating more and more man-made foods. And I've talked to families that say, if it's not in a package or in a bag, we don't eat it. And they were right. Like, everything in their pantry was packaged, and the food in the freezer was in a box, and it was frozen, and they just heated up in microwave. No fruits and vegetables that were raw and real food. So it's definitely a problem. So now we're going to talk about the 5 health foods that we're eating that could be making us sick. And the first one I'm going to start with is a diet soda. And this is something you're drinking that might be making you sick. But there's, if you take the T off of that diet, what's it say? It's dye. Really, there's so much in there that can really be damaging to your health. It's full of artificial ingredients and flavorings. It's unnatural. Again, it's man-made, has a lot of chemicals in it. It causes you to eat more calories. It's addictive. Tell someone you're going to take their Diet Coke away and you better duck because they might just swing at you. It reduces your water intake because you don't feel thirsty because you're drinking that. Tricks you into thinking that you're doing something good for your body, and it's really a neurotoxin that's damaging to your brain. And I've talked with people, and there's a gal in here tonight that she had aspartame poisoning from drinking diet sodas, and once that was discovered, she realized that was a cause of a lot of her chronic pain and like MS symptoms. It can be really serious. So you don't need sodas. There's nothing you get from it. Regular sodas are just empty calories. It doesn't add anything good to your body. It really actually takes away. So, people just say, well, I can't give up my soda. You can. I promise you. It's going to take about 3 weeks. You're going to go into withdrawals because it is addictive, but it's a really good thing to something to let go of your that you're putting into your body. The next one we're going to talk about is low-fat foods. Okay, so there was this craze for a while. It was in like the 90s, late 90s and 2000s, where everyone was talking about low-fat food. And it was this idea that was put out there, don't think it wasn't by marketing, that fat is what made you fat. And so they took out a lot of the things in the fat in those foods, and they replaced it with chemicals and sugar and fake sugar, and that's what gives it the taste the fat does. So they had to make it taste better, and they put a lot of different fillers in there. So when you're looking at something and it says light or low fat, just know that there's something that's been added in. Fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar and carbs make you fat, and that's one of the things that people are becoming more aware of. But this health craze was really one that was very damaging because it put that idea that fat was bad, and then people weren't eating the good fats, and they weren't getting those good fats for their brains. And we're going to talk about the importance of healthy fat for your brain here in a little bit. Now, this one I put in there, and I'm always like, oh, I could make a lot of enemies tonight, including this one. But I just want you to think about some things that I'm saying here. Cow's milk is not designed for human consumption. It's designed for baby cows. It has about 3 times the amount of protein than human milk does. It creates metabolic disturbances in humans. It causes inflammation. If somebody's talking to me and their child has a lot of eczema, a lot of ear infections, sinus infections, just a runny nose, I'll encourage them to get them off of milk, and the change is almost immediate. That's the inflammation that's showing up with them. It increases that mucus production. Again, that's the sinus and ear issues, increases the risk of respiratory conditions, increase in allergies, and it's been linked to the development of arthritis, again, because of that inflammation in joints. And so when you think of all of those things, you got to really think, is this worth it? Is it worth it to put this milk in? Now, if I'm driving across the West in a wagon train and I have kids, I'm going to want a milk cow because I want that milk cow for the fat content, and I want that for the protein, and I would want it for my kids. But that's not the world we're living in anymore, and that's not the milk that we're drinking anymore. The milk is homogenized, which means it's spun, and there's fat that's taken off. Well, that fat has enzymes and different protein molecules that our body would need to be able to break it down properly. And then the second thing is it's pasteurized to kill the bacteria, which is good, but again, it kills those enzymes that our body needs to ingest it right. So if you find that you're bloated a lot, try cutting out milk, and you might be surprised. I did this health talk for a couple months ago, and my parents came to it. It was the first time they heard me do this one. And my dad went home and he said, I'm going to just try cutting out milk. I haven't ever tried cutting that out. And he drank at least 1 glass a day. I saw him drink it a lot. So for 14 and a half years, let's just say that, I had said, we don't do milk. We don't do it at our house. And we just don't have it at the house that much. The kids will eat it in cereal, but that's it. I don't let them drink like a glass of milk. And he said he could not believe the difference that he felt, even within 3 days difference, and sleeping better and just feeling less lethargic than he had in a very long time just from cutting out milk. So I'm telling you, It's not something your body needs. And people will say, oh, you need the calcium. My kids don't drink milk, and all three of them have not broken a bone. You get a lot of calcium from dark green leafy vegetables, and there's calcium in almond milk and soy milk. There's lots of different ways to get calcium, but it's touted as a health food because it's marketed as a health food by the dairy industry. They're the ones that we say that we need milk, and they're outside of that. There's so much evidence and so many doctors that greatly disagree with that. So just something to keep in mind. That's a pretty easy one to take out if you have inflammation issues and skin issues. Okay, so organic, and you're like, what? Why would she say not to eat organic? Well, what I'm talking about is organic processed food. Okay, so it's just it's a buzzword like any other marketing tool that's out there. It's the same junk, it's just organic. There's little to no nutrients in it. It's processed again, so it's not a healthy food. You always want to check the label and see what's in there. Can you read the ingredients? Can you pronounce the ingredients? That's what we're looking at. Oreos made with organic flour and organic sugar are still Oreos, and they are not healthy for us. So let's not kid ourselves, but that's an easy trap to fall into, is buying packaged food as long as it says organic. This one is an interesting one too. This is the last one I'll talk about tonight, but juice. So a lot of times mama will give their little guys juice in a sippy cup, and I don't know why, but like all the moms did, and it's just what you did. You put juice in there, and I guess we thought, well, you're giving them fruit, and fruit is important, so fruit juice must be good. Well, it's really basically just liquid sugar. When something is juiced this way, all of the fiber, the protein, the skin, all of the good stuff that your body needs to be able to process that apple is gone. And so you just have a high sugar spike, and it causes things like tooth decay and a lot of things that say juice or will have fruits and vegetables or fruit at least on the packaging is really just a lot of chemicals that taste like fruit, and it's chemically flavored sugar water. Think of it that way. So even 100% quality fruit juice, it's still a bad idea because you are just spiking that insulin level, and there's no protein and fiber to help it come back down on its own. And then it also, you have to think about it, is it's pasteurized as well. So the nutrients that you would get from that juice are going to be, killed. So juice your own if you're going to juice, and even better, eat the apple or eat the orange itself, and that's going to be a better choice. Okay, so we're going to talk about two things that people do now that they feel like they're doing good things for their health, but they might actually be counteracting what they're trying to achieve. And the first one is counting calories. So if I live by just counting calories and I have a certain amount of calories that I can eat every day, what's going to happen in my brain is I'm going to say, well, this is limited, so I better make these calories count. I'm going to use it on the things that I really like and that taste the best to me. If I'm going to look at these, this Coke and this avocado, the Coke has about 180 calories. The avocado has 300 calories. So if I'm going just by counting calories, I would say, well, the Coke was better because it's only 180 and that avocado has 300. Avocados, I don't eat those because they have fat in them. Have you heard somebody say that? I have heard that so many times. Well, what we're missing is there's, again, nothing good that your body gets from that Coke, nothing, and a whole lot of bad that it gets from it, and yet missing out on the incredible benefits, health benefits of that avocado. So just counting calories doesn't even make sense. And you want to look at where is the calorie coming from? Where's the source of that calorie? That makes such a difference. And then the second one is taking vitamins. They know that their diet's lacking in nutrients, so they tend to rely on a vitamin to fill that gap. I know I did when I was pregnant. I took a prenatal vitamin. That's what the doctor told me to do. And yet, I found myself constipated. I was nauseous. I didn't feel good taking them. I would stop taking them, and then I would feel guilty that I wasn't taking it. It was this ugly cycle. And when you look at what's in multivitamins, we're going to go over that and the difference between whole food nutrition and a vitamin. But look at some of the ingredients in these kids' gummy bears, gummy vitamin bears. It's got aspartame, sorbitol, sucrose, artificial colors. We know that artificial colors really affect some kids' brain capacity and their anxiousness, and can make a whole neurological issues that some people don't even recognize that's what it's from. Hydrogenated oils, which is a bad fat that you don't want into your diet and into your blood vessels, it has a label, like a warning label. If child gets a hold of those and eats that whole jar, you have to call poison control because they can die from it. It's fatal. It has a child-proof cap on there, and that's why, because it can be fatal. And then even, multivitamins that adults take, some of those look like candy, and kids can get into those thinking that it's candy. And again, you would have to call poison control. If you yourself took too many vitamins, you're going to notice a couple things. One, your urine is going to change color almost immediately taking a vitamin, and then and it's going to change smell. You've seen that before, but what you may not notice is that over time your body can actually store those chemicals, and you can become toxic to a vitamin, like a vitamin B toxicity, unless your blood levels are being monitored by a doctor that really understands vitamins and uses them some way. Like, I've really never met someone that does it right. They just you say, okay, take this vitamin, take this one, and they're just hoping to somehow bridge that gap between what we're eating and what we should be eating. And that really is phytonutrients. Those phytonutrients, we talk about vitamins a lot, and there are I think it's 9 different known vitamins, 9 or 13, I can't remember now, vitamins that are called a vitamin, but there's thousands and thousands of phytonutrients. Those are plant nutrients that have been found and named and make up even one apple. So let me show you. I'm a visual person, and I really need to just be able to see this. And so this made a lot of sense to me. This is a supplement label. This is a 1-a-day women's vitamin, and on the back it says supplement facts. Well, what this is a list of nutrients. We tend to think the longer this list is, the more nutrients it has, right? The better it would be for us. This is what's called a multivitamin. It's a chemical rendition of the nutrients naturally found in a fruit or vegetable, chemically reproduced and then put into this pill form. If one of these nutrients listed here is represented by one of the beads in this little jar, this is how many nutrients you would get from a 1-a-day vitamin. Okay, so it's not that many, right? So here's the difference between what's in an apple. We're talking thousands of phytonutrients, 11,000 or more, 11,000 known to date that have a name to these. And these are small, tiny amounts, but it's thousands and thousands of them that all work in synergy in your body so that your body knows what to do with these. Nobody gets toxic to fruits and vegetables. In 15 years of talking to people, I've never had someone say, I went to the doctor and he told me, you know what, you're just eating way too many fruits and vegetables. You need to lay off of those and stop eating so many. I've never read, that somebody dies from carrot overload or too much broccoli. We laugh about that, but that's true. Phytonutrients work in your body. Your body knows what to do with them. They get into your bloodstream. Those nutrients are what fuel your cells. And those cells become tissues, tissues become organs, organs become organ systems, and that's what makes up your body. Your whole body is reproduced within 1 year, even your bone cells, and that's going to be fueled by what you eat. So what we're putting into our body is absolutely necessary. And like I said, we often think about what we shouldn't eat, and that's kind of what we started with tonight. What we need to be focusing on is what we should be eating, what we do need to eat to protect our health. And protecting our health is what is called prevention. Prevention of things like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, those type of things that none of us want to have to deal with, right? And yet, if we're not doing anything, we're going to end up in that place. I know you can think of people in your life right now that are struggling with those health issues, people in your family, and you may think, well, it's something that genetically runs in my family. The genetics may be there, but what you're eating, what your lifestyle is turning those genetics on, or it's turning them off. So it's suppressing them or it's activating them. We want it to activate the good and suppress the bad. So that means really flooding our body with as many fruits and vegetables as we possibly can. Fruits and vegetables also provide antioxidants, which is protection against oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is what is linked to poor health. When you have a high level of free radicals in your bloodstream, or oxidation, that's like rust that's happening in your body. And the antioxidants are what protect it. It's like a shield that protects your cells from the hits of those that oxidative stress or those free radicals. And in each human cell, the DNA is hit about 10,000 times by mutagenic oxidants. Your DNA is what tells that next cell how to reproduce and what to do. Okay, think about that. So it's getting hit by all of those. You want a nice, strong shield, and that's what antioxidants are. They're like the paint on the metal of a car. That's what protects it from rusting, and that's why it's so important that we need them. This is a poster from the American Cancer Society, and they say 70% of disease, this is from Dr. Sears, he says 70%, and I've heard as high as 85% of disease is preventable through good nutrition. The Center for, this is American Cancer Society, they're saying reduce your risk of cancer by eating more fruits and vegetables. That's kind of a big deal. This article talks about studies show that a diet high in brightly colored produce, so eating a wide variety of produce, can help guard against debilitating chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. This is from Cancer and Diet from Newsweek. 1 to 2 pounds of raw broccoli eaten weekly has 20 to 50 times more anti-cancer capabilities than the cancer drug tamoxifen. The cancer drug tamoxifen is an estrogen blocker that they give to women that have had breast cancer. And it has all kinds of side effects. Lots of different negative side effects. And what they're wanting is those estrogen receptors on the cells to be blocked so that your estradiol that your body produces will go by and not attach to that. Well, what this is saying, this study showed that 1 to 2 pounds of raw broccoli eaten weekly has 20 to 50 times more anti-cancer capabilities than that drug. And what are the side effects to broccoli? Maybe a little gas, but it's not the dangerous side effects that keep women from taking that drug long-term like they're supposed to for up to 5 years. 5 years. Okay, so that's a pretty bold one. This one really is what changed my mindset. The news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you, they could save your life. This article is 14 years old. This is about the time that I started learning about health and nutrition, and that was a big wake-up call to me. This one stood out to me. So good that they could save your life. That's a pretty bold statement. And if that was true, I wanted to know the reasoning behind it. And I wanted to get as many as we possibly could into our bodies. Our body needs those fruits and vegetables, those antioxidants, those nutrients to help detox our body from all the toxins we're getting from the foods that we are putting in, the air that we're breathing, the toxins in the water. And many people that struggle with weight and obesity and losing weight and rebounding and gaining weight can often be linked back to the fact that their body's not detoxing and they're not getting enough of those phytonutrients in there to help their bodies to release those toxins, and then that's where you get that rebound. So cleansing or detoxing by flooding your body with lots of fruits and vegetables while you're losing weight helps to rid those toxins and keeps your body from producing fat cells that engulf the toxins to keep it from your organs. It's a super important component to weight loss that many people don't understand. So how many fruits and vegetables are we supposed to be eating? It's way more than you think. That was so true for me. I thought, maybe 5, but even 5 a day, how many of us are eating 5 a day? 7 to 9 servings as women, 9 to 13 servings for men. That's a lot. 5 to 7 for kids. And that's because the produce that we're eating now, one, it's been picked a long time ago, so it's not vine ripened. It doesn't have as many nutrients. The soil that it's being grown in does not have as many nutrients because they're not rotating crops like they should be or like they used to be. And some varieties have lost 5 up to a whopping 40% of their nutrient content as compared to the food that our grandparents were eating. And you know it's different. You grow a tomato in your backyard and eat that in the summer. Compare that to a tomato that you would buy right now in Walmart. There's a big difference. It says tomato. They might look like the same shape, but they're not the same color. They're not the same texture. They're not the same taste. And there's not the same nutrients in there. So we need to be eating as many raw and vine-ripened fruits and vegetables as we possibly can a day, really focusing even more on the vegetables than the fruit. Most of us do okay with fruit, but it's the veggies that we're lacking. And a lot of times it's because we have picky eaters in our family. What do we do? You can serve it, but what if you get those looks? And maybe that's you. Maybe you're the one that's a picky eater and you don't really like those different fruits and vegetables. Maybe you're kind of like me. I tend to buy the same 5 because I know everyone's going to eat those 5. And I don't want anyone saying, oh, I don't like that. And it's frustrating as a mama to be putting some time and effort into a meal and then not having somebody, your family eat it. So I get it. Picky eaters, time crunch, we're busy, we're running around. It's easier to go through the drive-through, fix a bowl of cereal, open something, canned, or even pulling something out of the freezer and just heating up in the microwave. I get it. I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 children, 3 teenagers now, I should say. I understand, but I also understand the difference between being sick and being healthy. And I want to share with you here. I'm going to back up just a little bit and share with you my family's story. So like I said, 15 years ago, my eyes were open to this idea of whole food nutrition and the importance of eating well and eating healthy foods to be able to get the nutrition our body needed to be able to repair. And if you had asked us if we were healthy, I would have said yes. But here's the truth. We had become so used to being sick and tired, it had become common to the point it was normal. And that's where many families are. Disease, illness, fatigue, chronic pain, medication, doctor visits have all become so common in their lives that it's become normal. And they don't know what to do. And so if we know we're supposed to be eating more fruits and vegetables and we're not getting our family to eat them because of busy schedules, because of picky eaters, what do we do? And that's kind of where I was. Okay, once I started learning how important it was, then how do I get them in? And let me show with you some of the ways that we have. One is to do this complete smoothie. This is an easy breakfast. It's an easy way to get a lot of fruits and vegetables into your diet in one setting. So the complete is 20 different plant foods. It's an all plant-based protein blend. It has 8 grams of fiber, and it has a great source of protein. It has ancient grains and sprouts, prebiotics, which helps to feed the good bacteria in your intestines, and it really tastes amazing. My kids loved it when they were little. They like it still. I have one almost every day for breakfast. You'd think I'd be sick of it, but I'm not. It's what my 13-year-old daughter asks for lunch for every day, and I put it in like a little thermos, and she takes it to school with her. It really has a very creamy taste. It's not chalky, and you can add, like you can see in this picture, different fruit. You can add different vegetables like avocado to it and even kale, and it just tastes incredible. The more you put in there, somehow the better it gets. But you can keep it really simple, just with water in a shaker bottle, and that works too. It really has that good of a flavor and taste to it. This is an easy way, like I said, to get a lot of fruits and vegetables into your diet right away in the morning. So we can definitely give you more information on that. Another easy solution is salad jars. Have any of you guys been a part of salad jars? Raise your hand. We had one on Sunday here at my house, and what everyone brings a topping, and you bring your own jars, your lettuce and your dressing, and then you build the jars upside down. So you start with the dressing in the bottom, put any wet ingredients, and then you build it up to where the lettuce is in the top. It's separated from the liquid, and it will last for a week in that refrigerator. It's awesome. So you don't have to be thinking, okay, what am I going to do for lunch? For those of you that work, oftentimes it's kind of around the office, okay, where are we going to go get something for lunch? And day after day after day of eating out really takes a toll on your health. And you know that. You can see yourself gaining weight. You're sluggish in the afternoon. You're not feeling good. You don't feel like you're fueling yourself. This is an easy way to get some really amazing tasting salads for like $1.50 a piece. Grab some friends, jump on board if you see one of us posting on Facebook about it. It's really healthy fast food, and it just is grab and go easy, and that's what we're looking for, right? That easy solution. Another thing is growing your own fruits and vegetables at home. So this is a tower garden. This is a way that you can grow your own produce in your house. I have one right now growing in my dining room. I've got basil on it, and kale, lettuce, bell peppers, strawberries, and different herbs like I said, basil and cilantro. There's 20 different ports. There's no soil, so you can grow without dirt, and no weeding. We all like that. It uses 90% less water than you would in the ground, and it takes up 90% less space. This was our tower garden in Alabama when we lived there, and when I was blonde. And this was after only 4 weeks from planting from seed. 4 weeks. It grows so fast, and you can get a ton of produce off of it. And what's great, you can see at the top there of that tower, that's lettuce at the very top. You just pull it off and eat it. There's nothing on it, especially when you're inside. You don't even have to rinse it off. There's nothing on it. So it's really a great way to involve your kids and get them to join in and start growing food with you. So that's a great way to incorporate more. Trying new foods. So a lot of times, like I said, we get kind of stuck in a rut and we don't try new foods. When you go to the grocery store, if you take your kids, we all know, don't take your kids to the grocery store. It's amazing what ends up in that cart. I'm like, how did this even get in here? As you're putting it on the conveyor belt at the end. But let your kids pick one new fruit or vegetable. They get to choose one that they've never had before, and just try new things and help them get into the habit of tasting new things. If they're out and about and there's something different, have them taste it. There were girls at our house aged 13 and 12, 14 years girls, and they did not know what a cucumber was the other night. Didn't know what it was. They were like, what is this? What is this thing? And I was like, it's a cucumber. I've never had it before. It's crazy how many kids are not eating any fruits and vegetables, and even some of the most basic ones. Start them off early. This tray at the top left picture is an amazing thing to do with kids. You can take a muffin tin and you fill each place with healthy foods, healthy options. And I did this when my kids were little. It saved me so much time and only one dish to clean up. I don't know who ate what, but I could put that tray on and it was just devoured. Everything was eaten, from pepper slices to celery, the blueberries, the avocados. They would just eat them. And everybody got something good, and they would move along and they were happy. So I don't know, something about dipping and eating with their hands. They loved it. They loved it. This is a Shred cookbook. Taste the Shred is a program that we have that is a 10-day jump start, and we all do it together, and we typically do it the first 10 days of the month. I would love to include you in that. But if you're needing support and you're needing a program to follow, the Shred 10 Guide is a great place to start. And that includes this free cookbook that you can download with these amazing recipes. And they're even coming out with seasonal Shred cookbooks as well. And they're like really tasty recipes in there that are tried and proven that moms like and the kids like as they get in there. So trying new foods, that will help incorporate more fruits and vegetables. And as you flood your body with the good, your body's going to be more receptive to the change and to different fruits and vegetables than it was before. I see that over and over again. And this is really what helped us bridge the gap between what we were eating and what we should be eating. This was the catalyst for us to start making other changes. It was fruits, veggies, and berries in a capsule form or in a gummy, like a soft chewable for kids or for the kid at heart that doesn't like to swallow capsules. A lot of adults eat the gummies too. So fruits, veggies, and berries in a capsule. Now, when I heard that, I was like, what? That's like the best thing ever. Seriously, they can do that? And they can. In fact, they've been doing it for 25 years. This product is called Juice Plus, and it's packed with all of these different, 45 different plant foods when you're doing the shake and the trio every single day. Like I said, what an incredible way to start your day off, to get your body fueled up with all these fruits and vegetables, and get those antioxidants in there that are that protection against their cells, getting those nutrients to get into your cells and protect, not just protect them, but fuel them. And like I said, to fuel those tissues and those organs and really your whole body. A lot of these things I like. I like peaches and I like beets actually now. Pineapple, I love those. Grapes, I don't mind eating those. But what I want you to ask yourself is, are you really eating those on a daily basis? Are you getting those into your diet, that many, in that variety, all of those colors into your body every day? Now, I know the ones that are saying, yes, I do, are the ones that take Juice Plus. Those of you saying, no, and how would I? Yeah, that's where I was. How am I going to get this many fruits and vegetables into my family's diet for the price that I can pay for Juice Plus? There was no other way. I knew how. And what I wanted to know is what happens when you take Juice Plus. And we're going to get into that. Juice Plus is really unique. It has a food label on it. Remember this multivitamin that had a supplement facts label? Juice Plus has a food label. It has a nutrition facts. You can see that right there on there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but that's the difference. I can read what's on here: raspberries, bilberries, blueberries, cranberries. I can read those ingredients. When I start to read this, I can't even pronounce some of those ingredients that are in there. It's non-GMO ingredients. Everything is grown non-GMO with Juice Plus. It's dairy-free. It's gluten-free, even the shake. It's NSF certified, which means a third party is coming in saying, yes, this is clean. What's in the bottle is in the capsule. What's in the capsule is on the bottle. And that's really an important thing. If I was going to take it for myself, give it to my toddler, if I was going to take it when I was pregnant, I wanted to know what were the benefits that I was going to see. And those benefits were actually proven in clinical research. Clinical means when humans take Juice Plus, what were the results? And we have right now 37 peer-reviewed medical studies that have been printed on Juice Plus. That is unheard of. I know of one other company that has 2 different studies that have been done with their products. For us to have 35 is just sets the bar so high. And the omegas are a great all plant-based source of oils that are omega oils, omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. It's that wide spectrum. And it has no fish in it. So if you've known you're supposed to eat and take omegas, which I always did, I read about them, I knew it was important for brain health and heart health, but I didn't like the contaminants that was in it. I didn't feel safe buying them from the fish source. So when Juice Plus said they were coming out with an omega blend that was an all plant-based source, I was like, yes, that's so amazing. And this has algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, seed buckthorn berry oil, raspberry seed, safflower oil, and tomato seed oil. And that's where you get that broad spectrum, the 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, which is really, really important. This is proven. Juice Plus has been proven. Like I said, in those clinical studies, when people took it, what were the benefits they saw? Now, you may see some of the universities around the world and here in the United States that you recognize here on this screen. This is just a small portion of them. MD Anderson Cancer Center. We're looking at University of Mississippi. This is Wake Forest University, Vanderbilt, University of Arizona, Yale University. These aren't like community colleges somewhere. These companies or universities are known by the company that they keep. And for them to do research with Juice Plus is really a phenomenal aspect of what makes Juice Plus to be so proven effective. Here's what we know happens when you take Juice Plus. We know that there's improved cardiovascular wellness, supports your immune system, improves gum tissue, so less bleeding when brushing and flossing. It reduces that oxidative stress, reduces inflammation, protects your DNA. You have healthier skin. Insulin resistance was improved in overweight boys, as well as abdominal fat mass loss with them. Quality of life with ovarian cancers at MD Anderson Cancer Study Center, and even lung health. If you want to know the benefits of Juice Plus, I encourage you to really dig into that. If you want to know if I'm going to invest in this, what's it going to do for me? And we have an incredible summary of what this research is here on this page. And whoever invited you tonight can send you a link to be able to see this. It has all of the studies that have been done and the research findings from those studies. I could speak another 2 hours just on the research alone, but I won't do that tonight because that's what excites me. This is what gives me empowers me, encourages me to come and invite you all to be on here with us and learn tonight, because it's not just my opinion. It's not just somebody else's opinion. This is scientific evidence that has been proven to be effective. When you take it, what are the results? If you're going to invest in it, you want to know how is it going to invest in you. I know I did. Juice Plus is safe. It's recommended for children. Kids as young as 6 months old, as soon as they start eating baby food, they can begin to eat the Juice Plus by sprinkling their Juice Plus onto their food. And one of the great things about this company is they knew that if they can help mamas and kids get started with better health and better food choices and Juice Plus at the same time, that there's going to be a rippling effect to the rest of the family. They knew that and believed that so strongly that they started the Children's Health Study. And this program has helped over 1 million children get their Juice Plus free. Yes, free for 4 years with a sponsoring an adult. So when an adult orders their capsules, they sponsor the child into the study and they get theirs for free. Here were some of the results that these kids and parents reported after taking Juice Plus for just 1 year. 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter and prescription drugs. 60% were missing fewer days of school. They're eating more fruits and vegetables, consuming less fast food and soft drinks. Look at that, 71% of them. They're drinking more water, they're more aware of their health, and they're reaping a positive benefit of some kind. That's incredible. That's where change happens. And that's where we start to change that tide of, generational influence on our kids, that we can stop that generation of poor eating habits, and we can instill new habits into our kids and restore their health versus it declining and getting further and further behind even than us. This is what gives me hope for my kids, and I've seen these things with them. Even though they were tiny when we started with my son, we saw these things because I started making those changes too. We as the mamas, we're the ones that set the tone for our families in so many ways, from attitude to nutrition. I'm the one that goes to the store. Now that my teenage son is driving, they just went and bought ice cream today. And I'm like, I don't have as much control of that. And I'm so thankful I do have an easy way to continue to get those fruits and vegetables into their diet every single day. We as mamas have to put that oxygen mask on ourselves first so that we can help our kids and help our families, help others around us. And that comes through the food choices that we make as well. Like I said, we greatly set that tone. So another thing I love about Juice Plus is that it is affordable. It is affordable. When we're talking about the price of fruits and vegetables, if I sent you to Walmart with $2.50 and I said, come back to me with as much produce as you possibly can for $2.50, how much do you think you could come back with? It's not much, right? It's like a small orange, a small clump of broccoli, and a small apple. And I did that in 2007. So we're talking 10 years ago, and it was $3.47. I still have the receipt in the picture. Yeah, That was 10 years ago. The prices have definitely increased since then. So for less than $2.38, so less than $2.50 a day, you're able to flood your body with those 30 fruits and vegetables. And with your order, your child gets their fruit and vegetables for free, either in the gummy or the chewable form. We're talking $2.05 a day for the shake. I mean, that's cheaper than going through the drive-through. And it's easier. It's 3 minutes. I can make a shake and we are done. Even if we're like, we have to leave right now, I can still make a shake that fast, and then we have breakfast as we're running out the door. So it's a great help in the mornings for sure. And with the omegas at $1.10 a day, to be able to get that wide, broad spectrum. If you go to the health food store and you start buying the different omega blends, you're going to spend more than that because you have to buy them separate. To have all of them together and in a plant source is really just an amazing thing that does keep it affordable for our family for sure. And, I think about what even just one cup of coffee from Starbucks costs. All of this added up is less than $6.50 a day if you did one shake a day, the trio, and the omegas. And you might think, whoa, that's a lot. Think about what you spent today. If you went out to eat for lunch, on average, it's $7. If you can walk out of a restaurant for $7 for lunch, you're eating fast food anyway. But even a sit-down restaurant, you're not going to get out with less than $10. Typically, it's $10. How much is a Starbucks coffee? We spend the money somewhere, and I'm not asking you to come up with this extra money like to go get a second job. I'm just saying, what can you switch and what can you shift around in your current budget to be able to add this in? We did that. For us, we gave up cable. We didn't need to watch cable television. It wasn't bringing something to our lives. We were able to shift that money to be able to add Juice Plus in, and that was years and years ago when it was just 3 of us. Not buying sodas. Don't buy them and bring them into your house. Instead, put that money towards yourself. If you went to Walmart and you could easily take out, 6 or 7 things that you don't need in the cart, and that's pretty much what you would pay for your Juice Plus. The other thing is not eating out so much. We spend a lot of money eating out. It is definitely cheaper to cook at home. So again, shifting that from one place to another and just finding the money that's already in your current budget and applying this to health. And a lot of times people find that their medical expenses greatly decrease, and that's where their money comes from to be able to pay for their family to be on Juice Plus. You're going to pay now or you're going to pay later. I can invest in health and wellness, or I can end up paying for illness. And we were paying for illness. My husband had pneumonia 4 years in a row. Every cold that came around, he caught it. He brought it home to my son. I lived for the next nap. That is a very different picture than what we live today. For my kids are 12, 13, and 16. It's been about 13 years since I've taken Colin to the doctor for being sick. He's 16. It's been about 11 years. I've taken the girls twice in 11 years for being sick. My husband has never even had an upper respiratory infection again. In 15 years, I've been to the doctor twice. So yeah, first we had to find where do we fit this in, but we found by far that paid us back. It's one of the few investments that we've made that actually paid us back. And I am so thankful that somebody stepped out and shared with me. And I'm so thankful somebody stepped out and invited you here tonight. So what do you do with this information? So many times I hear people say, well, I'm going to wait. I like what I heard today. It makes sense, but I'm going to wait. And especially this time of year, I'm going to wait until January. Why? Why wait? Why wait till January? You can spend money on Christmas toys that are going to get broken, or you can invest in your kids' health now that's going to prevent that cold and flu season that's coming up. You got to get the good stuff in. Nutrition takes time to get into your body to help repair and to build up and to strengthen that. So why wait until later? Why wait until you're sick? Why wait till you're in crisis mode? That's what breaks my heart, is when I've talked with someone and shared with them and shared the information. They've come to events, but they wait until something happens, or it gets so bad that they just can't wait anymore. And then they jump on board. And you know what they always tell me? you know what, I wish I would have done this sooner. I'm feeling so much better, even in a couple of weeks. I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I wouldn't have waited. So I encourage you tonight, don't wait. You have to take care of your body. I have to take care of my body. We've got to take care of our families' bodies because it's the only place we have to live in. You can't replace them. You know, it's not like we can go to the store, buy one off of Amazon with free shipping. This is it. This is the body we have, and we've got to take care of it. So I'm going to stop the sharing the screen right now. I'm also going to stop the recording. So thank you for joining us, everyone.